Hi everybody, Ashley here. I am going to talk about how our mind feels in this walk with Jesus Christ. And recently I've been telling myself, I'm not crazy. I know that what God's asking me to do is for His glory, and it doesn't follow the logic of the world, because the logic of the world follows our flesh and what satisfies us. But God's teaching is to satisfy and bring glory to His kingdom, and teaches us so many ways to serve people and truly love. And to truly love, sometimes it's going to make you look crazy. So I was reading 2 Corinthians verse 13, and it is, if we are out of our mind, it is for the sake of Christ. And it was really validating to read that, because you know that it's not like you're going crazy. You're not crazy. You feel like you are, because you're not being controlled by your own logic anymore. You're being completely pulled and drawn to God's ways, which bring suffering at times, because the things that we are asked to do are not easy. Some of those may look like our own journey when we are breaking our strongholds and those chains and those bonds. And I talk a lot about pride and self-control and just selfish ambition, because a lot of the time that's what holds us back from transitioning into that new version, that new person that Christ created us to be. Pride holds and carries a lot of resentment. A lot of different feelings can build from pride. That's, not forgiving someone because you think they don't deserve it, or not treating someone a certain way because you think they don't deserve it, or not being the bigger person because you think they should. I can go on and on. And Christ teaches you that, love never fails. And when you decide that you're going to put your pride to the side and not satisfy your flesh, you're not doing it for that person specifically. You're doing it in submission to God. And here's where the crazy part comes in, is others won't understand that. People that can't see, that can't hear God, they'll think you're crazy. They'll judge you for apologizing or being good to a person who's not good to you. Turning the other cheek, or still showing kindness. They'll think it's weak, dumb. You think you're out of your mind, but you should laugh and say you are. You're out of your mind for Christ. So I just I was thinking about that for a while and really heavily over the weekend. That it may feel crazy because you're not in control for once. You're allowing God to control your circumstances, to control your next steps, because ultimately He knows what's best. He has a plan for you, and all you have to do is submit. And that sounds easy, but like I said, it's not. But He knows that at the end of the race, there's a victory, and it's waiting for you. So don't be afraid to look crazy or to feel crazy. At least if you're out of your mind, you're doing it for Christ. And you must be led by Christ. To hear me there. Don't just do things and say that God told you to. It's you gotta walk with Him closely and make sure that He's the one leading you down every decision. And He'll walk with you. He walks a few steps ahead of you. Clear the path, clear the way. And He'll be there for you after you do it, when it doesn't feel so satisfying. Well, I hope this helps someone who is going back and forth in their head about a decision they need to make because it just doesn't make sense. Your worldly view says to do this, but a deep desire in you is saying to do that. Listen to that desire. More often than not, if you are Spirit-led, God places those desires in our hearts, the ones that don't make sense, because we need Him. We need to rely on His strength when we make these decisions, and that's why I think He gives us those challenging desires, because we need Him. We need to need Him. We need to depend on Him. If it was easy, we wouldn't need Him. We also wouldn't learn much. We wouldn't be growing in love. Well, I hope you take some time to think that through. And once again, that was 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verses, I believe, verse 13. See you later.